Howdy Tankers, today we are taking a look at the Panzer 38T-NA, the Tier 4 German light tank. We are in a game here on Black Goldville. I'm platooning with Double Kill. He is in his Matilda. He's going to go up to caves. I'm going to go mid. This is a pretty good tank. It's quite mobile. Its frontal armor is actually good enough to stop some shots from lower tier auto-loaders, but that's about it. It's a light tank. That's about all you can expect. Its top gun is pretty good. It's a 50 millimeter gun with a good rate of fire, almost 16 rounds per minute, 67 regular AP penetration, and a very nice 130 millimeters of APCR penetration, average damage of 70. So it's got pretty good DPM, and if you can keep the gun in the game, it works pretty well. I've moved up here to center, and I'm working on spotting enemy tanks. We have a friendly tank who has followed the drive out into the middle of everything strategy, which did not work well for him. I'm trying something slightly different, which is to fire and move, staying behind cover as much as possible. I think that's overall a better way to do things. So I am find myself up against a Matilda. That's hard to penetrate even with APCR. Much easier target in this T-28. Donked a shot there. Notice there's a tank sneaking up on the left. Not getting any shots except, oh, here we are on the T-28, but that was a shot trade. And there is another 38T-NA sneaking up on the side here. So I put a shot into him, run around behind him, and block him. And you notice I do a lot of damage, I guess because he rammed into me with his rear armor. I circle him and take him out without taking any significant damage. Now I'm going to move up. We got that Matilda. Switch to APCR. This is a nice gun. It's got 1.8 second aim time and a 0.35 accuracy, which is excellent for a Tier 4 gun. So you can see I can find weak spots on a Matilda and kill him. Not a bad game for me. I got top XP due to lots of spotting damage, second from top damage. Worked out very well. Here's another game with Double Kill. I'm moving over to his side of the map because in a Matilda, well, he's not going to be moving over to my side very quickly. And here I am firing at the front of an M3 Lee. Notice that I'm penetrating without a whole lot of trouble on his frontal armor with regular AP. The 38T-NA is a light tank and has got a nice camo value, so he is being shot by a tank that he is only just now seeing. The 38T-NA has, I believe, 7 degrees of gun depression, which is, you know, could be better, but it's workable on this ridgeline. We're prioritizing this Lee here as the most dangerous enemy. And as soon as he's dead, we're going to move on to this next target, which is Panzer 4A, which again we're able to penetrate without a whole lot of trouble here. Not a huge alpha on this tank, but it's got such a good rate of fire that you can do a lot of damage if you can keep the gun in play. Now we have a Matilda, not the easiest tank to deal with a 38T. I'm going to try to take out this Panzer 4 preferentially. Accidentally bump into Double Kill, sorry about that. This tank has good accuracy and good aim time, but it really does, you do have to aim in. The reticle blooms quite a lot if you're moving or turning the turret, so you do have to take that extra time to get those shots in. I switched over to APCR. I can get through the front of weak spots on the front of Matilda, but I am instead moving ahead to try to circle him. And I notice that my partner is being circled by a T-28, so I'm prioritizing supporting my partner, putting a couple shots into the T-28 to help him out. Now I'm taking some pretty serious damage from the Matilda, so I do need to pay attention to him. I'll switch back to APCR, get an engine shot, unfortunately. Another shot into him, and he's dead just before I can put in that finishing shot. As you can see, second class medal, top damage, top XP, worked out quite well. Alright, here we are on Castilla. I'm playing solo. This is a game in which I'm going to do okay. I'm going to make a number of mistakes that I'll point out in an embarrassed sort of way. I'm heading up onto this hill looking for spots and looking for vulnerable tanks to go after, and we see an enemy TD who is isolated and confused and is just going to sit here turning around. Obviously hasn't played the game much, and we teach him that that's not how to play. Better luck next time. Now I'm going to head, we don't have any other spotted tanks, so I'm going to head across the river here. Initially I'm looking to come up this slot here in the road. Don't want to make myself vulnerable. And eventually, after a little bit of excessive indecision here, I decide heading down the riverbed is a good idea. The enemy are capping, but that's not going to be an issue for much longer. I am looking to come in behind enemy tanks. There's a DW2. This game was played prior to update 2.4, so the best gun on the DW2 is a 50mm gun. I'm experiencing some a little bit of lag here, which caused me to frustratingly drive right out in front of him. I was trying to move backward much sooner than I actually did manage to move backward, so I took a hit from him. Again, fortunately, he doesn't have the 75 L43 that is the new Top Gun on the DW2. While this game was being played, the DW2 was really quite undergunned. We see a Hetzer coming across here, and I managed to put a shot into him and get out of the way before he's able to aim in on me. Again, it's nice that this tank has such a rapid aim time. You can do lots of popping out, firing, popping back. I have APCR loaded up. That's not really necessary here, and as I'm watching this, I'm thinking to myself, you really didn't need to do that. Still have APCR, switch to AP, switch back to APCR. What I should be doing here is firing into his drive wheel, tracking him and doing damage at the same time. But I'm being lazy with the APCR, which is not best practice. The Hetzer takes notice of me. After I've put several shots into him, I pull back. And now it's these two tanks against me and another player. I kill the Hetzer. It's the DW2. I exposed myself a little too long here. I pull back. What I'd really like to do is be underneath his gun, where I can be below him and he advances and can't shoot down far enough to hit me. DW2 has, I think, about 8 degrees of gun depression, so that's a viable strategy. I don't think I pull it off as well here as I should have. He is low health, and he manages to get a snipey shot at the top of my turret, and I don't have enough gun depression, so I've exposed myself excessively. This is not good play. He's taking shots from my ally, so he has to pay attention to that. I do get a shot into him. He's low health. I lose my loader, but he's now just one shot, and boom. So despite some mistakes, this was another second-class game. Good damage, worked out fairly well in the long run. Now this next game is solo. It's going to be a mastery, and I am really going to earn this one. A, because my team doesn't do super well, and B, because there's really just incredibly frustrating lag that pops in and out throughout this game. You can see my ping is going up around 200, up and down here, and you're going to see some times when I'm trying to control the tank and fail miserably. I pop up over this ridge, put a shot into the Panzer III. He's made himself quite vulnerable out exposed here, and I want to take advantage of that without exposing myself. You can see he is firing that autocannon, but I have 50 millimeters of armor on the front of my turret, and it's very hard for him to penetrate there. Missed that shot. Noticing that the tank is being hard to control here and being annoyed. Trying to angle, but again the tank's not responding well. You can see it, lurching forward, but doing well enough. Again, I can bounce shots from this tank, and he's dead. So that wasn't too hard. Now we have 3 enemy tanks coming up the center here, and I want to get side shots on them. Put a Valentine there, put a shot into the side of him. Don't get that shot. And my tank is not moving when I'm trying to get it to move. And a beautiful shot on a heavily damaged Hetzer. Managed to get in on his rear, and he's dead. Now we're up against this Valentine. Have to switch to APCR. It's a very well-armored tank with not a very good gun. Get an engine shot, do a lot of damage, and finish him off. Managed to get the tank moving despite the lag. See how I'm pushing forward, and the tank is not responding as quickly as it should be. Some tanks coming up here, and I pull out much further than I intend to. Pull back. It's BT7, who's made himself vulnerable. They like to do that because they're so fast. And see that jerk there as the game tries to catch up with the lag. This T-28. Trying to pull forward just far enough, but the game controls are not letting me. Either I can lurch way forward like this, or not go forward at all. So it is hard here to play effective peekaboo. I'm trying to move, nothing's happening. Really frustrating here. And now I'm all the way out, exposed to 2 tanks rather than just 1. Fortunately, this BT7 appears to have lagged out, so that's lucky. Managed to hit this T-28, and again the game jerks forward. Another shot into him. Having no trouble penetrating his front armor with regular armor, but I'm low health and he is charging forward. He's a much heavier tank than me, so if he manages to ram me, I'm dead. Whoa, look at that weird game lurch forward. That's a little nightmare scenario for you. I'm now very low health, but what I don't realize is the BT7 is lagged out, so this game is actually over. So having trouble controlling a tank is not as bad as just having your tank not be there. He's either lagged out or he's quit the game or whatever. Hit him once. Have a friendly TD try to jump in and steal a kill, but no thank you. And despite having controls that make me move around like a drunken monkey, this turned out to be a mastery, so it worked out well in the end. Thank you for watching.